Hey everyone, this is your girl Sharifa, aka Shri, and welcome to the I'm Good podcast, or in better words, the I Feel Good podcast. If you are new here, welcome to the family. This is a podcast where I explore topics on mental health, physical health, nutrition, and everything in between. So if you're trying to get right and stay right mentally, this is definitely the place you want to be. And wait, before I begin, here's some quick info. Why did I name this podcast I'm Good? Simple. Because as people, from a cultural standpoint, whether we are down or happy, our favorite response to friends, families, or strangers is I'm good, even if we're not. It's completely normal not to feel happy all the time, but in the midst of whatever you go through, the saying I'm good can elaborate to so many different meanings. So yes, this is the place to be, whether you are down, happy, excited, and everything in between. I'm here to dish out knowledge, talk about current topics, and of course, lift you up. So feel free to go ahead and subscribe, share this podcast, leave a review, and tell a friend. Now let's go ahead and get started on today's show. Hey guys, if you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. And let me explain to you really quick. First of all, for starters, it's free. Yes, I said it's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. And I know most of you guys have a phone or computer, so it's so easy. Anchor will also distribute your podcast for you. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So make sure you download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Hey y'all, welcome back to the I'm Good podcast. I'm your host Sharifa, aka Shri. And do you already know? Do you guys know what today is? Today is officially our 100th episode. What? Cue the cheer music. I can't believe it. Today is literally the 100th episode. I literally remember to myself, when I first started this podcast about 2 years ago, in March. I remember I said to myself, I was like, how long will it take me to get to 100 episodes? And I was like, dang, over a year. I'm like, oh shoot. I don't know why I thought if I record, I've been recording once a week, whatever. I thought it was going to be sooner than that. But I was like, oh my gosh. And it's so crazy just to be here and to see that we made it. I made it to 100 episodes. It's crazy. And it's also crazy because I had told myself at the time, I was like, I was recording new episodes once a week back to back. But just recently, as I told you guys before, the past couple months, a lot has been going on. I had COVID and just some other things. So I had to put out throwback episodes. But nonetheless, listen, y'all, we still made it. So this is our 100th episode. 100. Can y'all believe it? Okay, it's our 100th episode. I'm excited because I feel like this is a turning point. And I don't know. I feel like with me, I'm always on the go. I'm always thinking of something new to do. I'm always thinking about a new topic or new business plan or whatever it may be. But I just feel like this is the turning point. This is it. So, and I know we also have been having a lot of new listeners. So shout out to all of my new listeners, my I'm Good fam. My I'm Good fam is the people that listen to me every single week or listen to this podcast every week. So shout out to you guys. Even if you don't listen to it every week, if you listen to an episode, you're still part of the I'm Good fam. And if you are new here, welcome to the I'm Good crew, I'm Good fam, whatever you want to call it. Just welcome. So yes, y'all, today marks my 100th episode of the I'm Good podcast, and it's been a journey. I mean, I've been recording through the pandemic. It started at the pandemic. I recorded where there was a lot of racial tension and things going on with the killing of George Floyd. Just a lot of things, definitely happened during the start of my podcast. And I was like, I'm here to talk about health and mental health. I'm like, how's this going to work? But listen, we got through it. Just a lot has been going on, just even in my own life, just a lot of different changes and things like that. And it's just crazy. So here we are 2 years later, and this is the 100th episode. So listen, thank you guys. And also as a special thank you, if you want to like show some love or spread some love, go ahead and check out our sponsor, which is also my website, www.allthingsshree.com, and use promo code I'm Good Fam at checkout to get 10% off your entire order. Once again, use promo code I'm Good Fam to get 10% off your entire order. And wait, if you are listening to this on an Apple podcast or Apple device, whatever may be, MacBook, whatever, MacBook Air, MacBook computer, whatever may be, make sure you go ahead and leave a rating review. It's really, really quick. So if you're listening to this right now, well, I already know. If you're listening to this right now, you probably already left a rating review. I'm going to assume, right? You left a rating review, right? Okay, period. So if you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts, go ahead and leave a rating and review. Listen, we about to run up these charts. Also, too, make sure you guys, if you are listening to this on Spotify, my Spotify listeners, leave a rating and review on there. It is greatly appreciated. And for those who have already done so, thank you, hugs and kisses to you guys. And also, too, thank you for everyone who has purchased from allthingsshree.com. It means a lot. The purpose behind that store was I wanted, definitely shirts to represent Black excellence, but I also wanted to have apparel that made you feel good and motivate you and inspire you. So make sure you guys go ahead and run up that store. Use promo code I'm Good Fam to get 10% off. And then also, as always, make sure you guys go ahead and share this podcast and follow the Instagram page. I'm working on rebranding it and trying to do different things with it and play around with it. Right now, I've been on this whole affirmation thing. We're doing affirmation reels because TikTok and reels has really been the thing to take over. So make sure you guys go ahead and follow me on there as I continue to as I continue and grow that account. Make sure you guys go ahead and head over to I'm Good Podcast to go ahead and follow me. And then if you came from listening to this episode, listen, go leave a heart. Send me a heart, whatever it may be. Or send me a purple heart, yellow heart, because the colors of this podcast is purple and yellow. And I don't know if I ever mentioned why I did those colors, but the purple reminds me of lavender. Lavender represents calmness and make you feel calm. And then the yellow for me is the happy side. So, when you're stressed and stuff like that, you want to be calm. So that's the purple side. But then also when you're happy and elated, whatever it may be, that's the yellow side. And I always like yellow. Yellow is bright, yellow is happy, and purple is nice and calm and soothing. So that's why I chose the colors of purple and yellow. It did not start off like that. My true listeners probably don't know, but the original podcast cover was brown, and it had somebody walking, or it was brown. I know that it was brown, but I changed the colors maybe 3 weeks later, 4 weeks later, 4 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks later, and I changed it to purple and yellow. And it was one podcast art, but then since then I updated the podcast art. So yes, y'all, thank you for rocking with your girl. Listen, and like I said, for my I'm Good Fam listeners, y'all be rocking with me. And if you have not done so, listen, feel free to catch up and go to the very first episode. Go ahead and check out those episodes. Listen, there's 100 episodes out, okay? And then also, too, I was doing the midweek roll call. I did pull that away because I was trying to experiment a little bit with something, but I'll probably be, I'm trying to figure out I'm trying to figure something out. Let me put it like that. But the midweek roll call will be coming back. Don't worry. But there might just be a little spin on it. So, but yes, y'all, thank you guys, like I said, as always, for rocking with me, on this journey. So my week. So I want to kind of start doing a segment that's called My Week, because I know me personally, when I listen to different podcasts, I really do enjoy when people kind of not spill tea on their life, but spill some tea. Who is Shree? Who is she? Who am I? And I really do enjoy that. I just enjoy when people keep it real and just be okay, this is me. And then I also love seeing people. And I know that's something that I do want to start as well. And I know people will love that. And the reason why I say I know people will love it, because I love it. And, just starting a video version of this podcast, something that I really, really want to do, but I kind of been procrastinating with it because I'm dang, I got to get cute and get all made up, whatever. I mean, I'm already cute, right? But no, I told myself, I was dang, I got to get cute and all blah, 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 just to get made up. But maybe I won't stress myself. Maybe I'll do a really, really calm way of doing and recording a podcast. So I don't have to stress myself out and be oh, it has to look like a production, or it has to look like this and that. I think I'm going to do it in a way where I just feel calm and relaxed and not feel as pressured. Yeah, that's probably what I'm gonna do. Yeah. Yep. So this week, so my week, so happy spring. We are officially in spring. Listen, y'all, I'm out in Buffalo, and today's, like last week, the weather was bomb. And the weather's been fluctuating and stuff like that, but it's officially spring. I can't wait to go through my closet and put up all my spring stuff, get rid of my winter stuff, get rid of boots, like winter clothes, winter socks, whatever it may be. I'm ready for that. I'm ready to get my spring, my summer body together. Cause I be playing, like I be telling y'all guys, like, do this, do that. I be playing. I'm like, sis, get it together. And like, and that's one thing, I definitely like to talk about on this podcast. And I've talked about it before, is like consistency. Consistency is easier said than done. And I'm so proud of myself because this is the one thing I will say. I mean, I'm consistent in other areas, but this been like my baby. Like, this is the one thing where I've been very consistent with. Like, I consistently upload an episode, whether it's a new episode or old episode. I've been consistently uploading an episode for the past 2 years. So for me and for that, I'm proud of myself because a lot of times I'm like, I'm not consistent, but I'm like, sis, you are consistent. But you just got to learn how to put that consistency in a certain place and have a certain framework to remain consistent. So it is officially spring. What else? I also too, the past week, maybe I did finish it the past week. I was watching the Kanye West documentary on Netflix. Listen, I'm not trying to tell you like what to watch or what not, but I'm going to put it like this. Very inspiring. Very inspiring. I finished all 3. Very inspiring. And it just like really changed my mind on a whole new perspective. Like, I feel like I'm a professional dream chaser. Like, I be trying to chase my dreams and I be catching them. Okay. I be chasing dreams and I be catching them. But like watching that documentary really inspired me to really, really go forward and just continue to do this podcast and just continue to be the best me and really, really bring out what it is that God had in me and really to push out my purpose. So I would highly suggest anybody to watch that. And you don't even have to necessarily like Kanye, and I'm not even going to get into that in regards to all of that. But, you can have your own opinions, whatever. Like, I have my own opinions where I was like, I don't know. But I was a fan of Kanye in his early years, whatever. But nonetheless, like I said, the documentary is not to persuade you to be like, oh, I like Kanye. No, just watch it. Inspiring, motivating. It's all of the above. And however you take it. But I know how I took it. And I feel like ever since then, literally, I feel like my mind, even though it was already on like 1000, it's like on 1001. It's like on 2000 after watching it. And I am going to watch it again because it is very inspiring. And so also too, this past week, I also been, trying to look up foods that help, fight inflammation. So I really want to get back into that as well in regards to like, just your overall health in regards to like fight inflammation. If you have allergies, if you got diabetes, whatever it may be, a lot of illnesses or just a lot of problems is caused by inflammation. And as always, it goes back to food again. There are a lot of foods that can help with inflammation. Definitely medications and things like that can certainly work. But there are also other things that you can do for yourself outside of medications, to help, decrease that inflammation. Let's see. So today's podcast episode, as you can probably see by the title, is I'm going to be talking about ways to increase your life energy. Okay. Another way you can say that is ways to raise that vibration, basically ways to like, just really live out your purpose and live out your life and like, just to feel good and just like boost and elevate your overall life. So I want to talk about ways that you can increase your life energy so that you can be more aligned, you become more happy and just centered. I feel like sometimes like even me, like I can feel like when my alignment is off and I can feel when my alignment is on. And baby, when that alignment is on, I be like, yes. But I can also feel like when I'm like, I'm like, this is not aligned with where I want to go. But I will say sometimes things won't look like that. Sometimes things won't look like how it should look. So I will say that it may look like it's not in alignment, but actually it is in alignment. So, but like I said, if you really get in touch with yourself and figure out what it is that you want 9 times out of 10, as long as you get in touch with yourself, God, whoever, whoever you do believe in, whatever, 9 times out of 10, that voice will tell you what direction to go, even when it don't look right. Yeah. So the first one on my list, in regards to 7 ways to increase your life energy is First things first is it goes back to food. You are what you eat. I know we talk about this all the time on this podcast, but you know what? We talk about it because that's what this podcast is for. I talk about health, and really, honestly, when I first started this podcast episode, a lot of it had to do with nutrition. I had just recently got my master's degree in applied nutrition. If you don't know, if you guys don't know that, I do have a master's in applied nutrition and I have a bachelor's in health and wellness. So a lot of my research during my studies had to do with, how nutrition and mental health are correlated with one another. And my research studies have found that, eating like junk foods per se, whatever, leads to inflammation in the brain, which can cause, poor mental health. So I really did a lot of research on different foods that you should eat to give yourself, better health and just better overall mental health. So the first things first, one way to increase your life energy is to eat better foods. So we're talking about, yes, I want to say it plant-based. So we're talking about, foods such as your fruits, your vegetables, just to name a few. You could do pineapples, cherries, berries, avocado, your dark green leafy vegetables, but food that makes you feel good, okay? So food that is healthy, food that when you eat it, you're not like, oh my gosh, like what did I eat? I'm talking about the foods that you eat, you feel more energized. Because if you think about it, if I'm talking about increasing your life energy, a lot of times I feel like when I eat unhealthy food, I feel depleted. Like I'm like, yo, like if I eat something unhealthy, or if I eat like maybe a cupcake or a sugary cookie or whatever it may be, I don't feel energized. If anything, I feel satisfied, but I don't feel energized. So if you really think about it, if you want to increase your life energy, you got to eat foods that are going to make you energized. The second one on my list is you have to really get into your inner childhood. And no matter what age we are, listen, shout out to my 30s and up crew. Okay. Listen, it's crazy. I'm like 30 and up. Woo, child. I feel like time is moving, y'all. Time is moving for me. But it's okay. Listen, age ain't nothing but a number. But yeah, so you got to go into your inner childhood. And I think a lot of times I will say this is like, as you get older, you're like, I'm not supposed to do child things. Okay, yes, you're not supposed to do childlike things. Like you shouldn't be doing childish things or acting childish. But I think it is important, to go back into your inner childhood. So for instance, for me, like when I bike ride, I feel so free. I feel happy. I feel like a child. Like I feel I feel free. I don't feel like an adult. Like sometimes being an adult is just like, okay, I'm over it, But when you do things that's within your inner child, you feel free. So riding your bike. What else? So another one of my favorites is going to the park and swinging on a swing. Yes, I probably look crazy swinging on a swing. They're probably like, who is this grown lady? Well, a grown lady. Geez, I make myself sound old. But like, you get what I'm saying? Like I'll be swinging on a swing and it just feels so, so good. Like just to kick my feet up in the air and let it go. Like it feels good. I feel like I'm letting go of my problems and I feel like I'm within myself. Like I feel like my spirits are lifted and I just feel like everything around me is lifted. Another one is painting. If you enjoy painting, that's another way you can bring out your inner childhood. There's coloring books. Now they have adult coloring books. You can color. And then also too, like, I know this might sound really kiddie-ish, but going down a slide. I remember my nephew had came into town like years ago and we went to this place called Billy B's and they had this huge slide in there. And y'all, I'm telling y'all, like at the time I was like, maybe like 26, 27. I think, or maybe 25. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember, but whatever. So I went on that slide with him. Now he was younger, whatever, a lot younger than me, whatever. And like, I went on the slide and I swear to God, I ain't never laughed so hard in my life. It was so hilarious. I was cracking up, y'all. I was like, oh, like, I don't know what it was, but it just felt so good. And Billy B's, if you're not familiar with that is, it's like a Chuck E. Cheese, similar, just a little different. It doesn't have like any puppets or mascots, whatever you want to call it. But it felt so good. Like, I was just like, oh my God, like I felt like a child. So those are some things that you can do to bring out your inner childhood. The next one on my list, another way to increase your life energy is to step out and go out in nature. For me, I love water. I literally love looking at water. I like beaches. I don't live near a beach. where I'm located, it ain't beachy. There's nothing, it's not tropical, nothing like that. So for me, I really, really enjoy, going to places where there are nice beaches. I love like warm weather, like tropical weather. Like it just, for me, it lifts me up. Now for other people, there might be other parts of the world, or maybe that doesn't necessarily lift you up. But for me personally, I feel energized. I feel like my life is vibrant. Like for me, I just love it. Like I remember one time I went to Virginia Beach, and I had stayed like on the ocean front, and the hotel, like basically the hotel when you open up like the patio doors, it was facing the ocean, and just hearing the ocean sounds and just like going on a boardwalk and stuff like that. For me, I felt like my life energy was increased by 10,000. And so that's the thing about this too, just talking to you guys today, is like you really have to figure out what is it that increases your life energy. So maybe it's not a boardwalk, maybe it's not bike riding, maybe it's none of the things that I explained, but once you kind of really figure out what it is that you like, and 9 times out of 10, if you're listening to this, you probably know what it is that you're like, but you're probably setting up blockages or barriers. You're probably telling yourself, oh, I'm too old for this, or I don't have money for this. But a lot of the best things in life are free. Like literally, like for you to go outside, step on grass, whatever it is, 9 times out of 10, it's free, So I think a lot of times we think that in order to have fun, it has to be paid, or you got to go on a vacation, you got to go here, blah, blah, blah. But a lot of times the things that we need to increase our life energy is right in front of us. And, going on vacation, things like that is fine. Like how I mentioned how I went to Virginia Beach is fine. But we also have to learn what things can we do while we're here in our present moment, wherever we reside. How can we increase our life energy here so that when we do travel, our energy is increased even more? So number 4, the next one on my list is you have to move. You have to move if you can. Sometimes you may not be able to move, whatever, but if you're able to, you got to move. Whether that's walking, in your house, walking at a park, walking down your street. It could be dancing. It could be whatever it is, but movement. Just movement, simple movement. Whether, I tell people all the time, whether it's 15 minutes, if it's 10 minutes, or if you only got 5 minutes, just something to get your body moving, because don't forget either, and I said this before, movement, all that, boosts your endorphins. It makes you feel good. Okay. Like I said, who goes to the gym and comes out and be like, oh, I should never win. I mean, unless something bad happened, but 9 times out of 10, if you work out or do something that's to benefit your body, a lot of times you're going to feel happier. You're not going to be like, oh, shucks, I should have never did that dance workout. Oh, shucks, I should have never lifted those weights. No, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be like, I'm glad I lifted those weights and I feel good. Now I feel like I want to tackle X, Y, Z. Number 5, another way to increase your life energy is to read a book. Read something. And read something that's going to be fulfilling to you. Read something that you like. And sometimes I will say, read something that you think that you may not like. There's been some books recently where I'm like, eh. And honestly, one of those books was The Richest Man in Babylon, which I just finished today. Thank God. I just finished today, but I love it. It's excellent. But I've been like playing around with it. At first I was like reading it. And then I was like, oh, life is happening. I'm not going to read it no more. And then I put it off. But y'all, I by far think that's one of the greatest financial, personal development books I ever read. By far. It's called The Richest Man in Babylon. I wish I had the author title. I think his name is George. Don't quote me. Whatever, but really, really great book. But yes, that's another way that you can increase your life energy. Read a book. That'll help you to gain more knowledge in a certain area. It'll help you think different. And it also will just take your mind off of things. Like read, especially if you read like a fictional book, it will really help you just kind of take your mind off things and just focus on something else and not, just focus so much on you. Number 6, turn off the TV. Okay, turn it off. Like turn it off. Like, I'm guilty with this. See, I don't really watch TV, but I will be on my tablet. Even that, sometimes I'm like, sis, close the tablet, stop looking at it. But if you are a TV watcher, turn it off. Turn it off. Do something else. Try to figure out, okay, what is it that I can do? Or set yourself a limit. Say, okay, after this certain time, I'm not going to watch TV, or I'm not going to watch TV until noon. You can say, I'm not going to watch TV until 11, or I'm going to do blah, blah, blah. And turning off TV can also go with your phone. Have a set time to turn off your phone, which I know is kind of hard as well, depending on there's a lot of circumstances, but generally if you're on your phone looking at social media, there's things that you can do, to not look at social media. Like I know there's like an app app. I don't know what it is, or some timer where basically it hides your apps after a certain time frame. Or you can just simply just, like I said, tell yourself, okay, after 8 o'clock, I'm not looking at Instagram no more, or I'm not going to look at Instagram before noon. It could be something like that. And now we're on the last one, number 7. The last one is another way to increase your life energy is to speak affirmations over your life, honey. Okay. Speak them affirmations. Like there is power. There is power in your tongue. Okay. There is power in your tongue. And it is very, very important. And I've said this before. That's why we did the midweek roll call. It is very, very, very important to make sure that you speak positivity over your life, because words matter. And also words can hurt. So if you say something to somebody hurtful, that can hurt. But if you say something to somebody and it's like nice and whatever, that can really brighten their day. Words mean a lot. So one affirmation that I want you to repeat every day, this is number 7, to help increase your life energy, is things will always work out for me. Once again, repeat this affirmation every single day. Things always work out for me. Did I say that the first time? I'll repeat it again. Things always work out for me. All right, y'all. Y'all already know what time it is. Oh, wait. I forgot quote of the week. Okay. So also too, today's quote of the week listen, y'all, I was about to leave y'all without a quote of the week. Okay. Today's quote of the week is, to bring anything into your life, you have to imagine it's already there. Once again, to bring anything into your life, you have to imagine it's already there. All right, I'm good, fam. We are now at the end of this week's podcast show, and I hope this information was helpful, insightful, and everything in between. And do not forget to go ahead and subscribe to the I'm Good podcast. Share this podcast on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, etc., etc., etc. Make sure you leave a rating. If you have not done so, leave a review, and make sure you tell a friend, tell your boo, tell your bae, tell your sis, tell your bruh, tell anybody, tell your coworker. And as always, guys, listen, this is the 100th episode. Thank you so much for everyone who has tuned in. I don't care if this is your first time. I don't care if you listen to this on a clip. I don't care what it is, how you listen to this. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see all of my beautiful I'm Good fam next week. Bye-bye.